Well, good morning YouTube. It's Sean. I just wanted to make this video real quick. It's like probably 6:30, and I'm sleeping in my hammock and it's raining. But I just want to make this video because I wanted to show you guys a really awesome hammock setup that pretty much will keep you warm all night. And I just leave this thing set up. I sleep in it. I try to sleep in it every night because I just sleep so much better in the hammock. And it wasn't always that way, you know. When I first started sleeping in the hammock, I didn't stay warm. I didn't know what I needed to do to stay warm. I just didn't know how to lay in the hammock. I just couldn't get comfortable, and it just sucked. I just wasn't any good at it. And so I want to make this video to talk about the hammock life for just a brief minute and show you guys some of the things that I've learned that have changed my hammock life. So first of all, I'll show you the setup. Okay, so this here is just a jungle hammock. As you can see, there's bug net right here, and that basically attaches to the sides of the hammock, and then I can just zip out. So it's almost like a tent suspended in a tree. And then I got some 6-foot ropes on either end that I just loop into the trees, and then I hitch that to my carabiners. So when it comes time to tear down, I just grab my tag end and just pull, and then everything comes loose. So that's super simple. Then there's a couple of mini tent poles that hold this thing up. I got a camouflage tarp from good old Maynard's that I think this is an 8x10 or a 10x12. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I might have opted for the 8x10. And then they also have I'm not gonna be able to show you this because it's raining right now and I'm not getting out of my hammock to shoot any more of this video. But I got these little carabiner hooks that hook into what are those things called? The loop on the tarp, the fairing. No, whatever those things are. So you just clip them in, and then I use parachute cord, and it's got a little hole and a little gosh, it's morning. My words don't come out right. But I just, you just hook that up to a tree, pull that shit tight, and that keeps your tarp real tight. And then on this side, I actually don't even have it secured. It's just hanging down on this side, which isn't so bad. But if it gets a little windy, that might get irritating. I just have it. Man, I slept so good last night. I slept so good. All right, the next thing about this setup, this here is a like a yoga mat, actually, or like a workout mat. I think this one is for MMA. Vallejo, that's the brand name, Vallejo, but it's just basically just a foam mat. And that right there, I mean, last night it was 45 degrees, and that really helped. I haven't really slept in this thing in much colder than 40-degree weather. But I got usually if you're sleeping in a hammock in cold weather, you want what's called an underquilt, and that goes underneath the hammock or around it to keep the heat loss from going on your backside, because when you're sleeping in a hammock, that's where all your heat loss is on your backside, and you'll get your ass will get really cold. And so that's why I got this foam guy here, and it works great. Next thing I got here is a 30-degree or 40-degree sleeping bag from Ozark Trail. It's really not the greatest, but it works well. And then I just have that inside of another sleeping bag. So really, I imagine that this foam mat, if a guy had a sleeping bag, a really good sleeping bag, I imagine that just having this foam mat in here would make almost all the difference. I mean, I bet if it gets really cold, it's hard to say if there will really be a replacement for an underquilt, because I mean, That way you're insulating your shoulders and your sides too. You know, I'm just laying directly on this thing, but it's not so bad. I sleep really really well. And then the next thing is I just sleep with a sweatshirt on and pants and stuff. I don't really change when I climb into the hammock. I kind of just leave all my stuff on and just take my shoes off, because that way when I wake up in the morning I can, oh, my socks fell off. That way when I wake up in the morning I can just grab my socks off of the top up here. That's where I put my socks up here, is to dry out, and then I just grab my socks, throw the same pair of socks on, which is kind of gross, but then slip my shoes on, and then I can go and change and shower up in the house or whatever. But let's see here. The next thing is laying down in this thing. So it's gonna take you a minute to kind of get used to, you know, laying in a hammock for more than just a couple minutes to relax. But the trick is you can kind of tell I'm not sitting in this thing straight away, and that's the kicker right there. Is if you lay in your hammock straight the long ways, you're gonna be flexing like a banana, you know what I mean? But if you can lay in it kitty corner diagonal, you put your toes on one side and your head on the other side, what happens is the hammock kind of twists, and because the hammock is twisting and kind of flexing that way, you tend to lay actually pretty dang flat. And so that might be your missing secret there to the hammock life, is you just gotta lay a little diagonal, and man, that'll give you all the difference. And then gosh, I slept so good in here last night. And then I woke up this morning at about 5 o'clock, and it just started raining, and it's been raining all morning. It's just been super pleasant sitting in here listening to the rain hit the tarp above me, listening to some music on my phone and stuff. Yeah. So there it is. That's the hammock life. That's the secret. Sometimes, you know, when I'm laying, what I'll do is I'll pick my knees up and I'll kind of just turn my head. You can kind of lay sideways sometimes, but what I do, like, it's a really bad habit when I'm sleeping in a bed, is that I sleep on my stomach, and I don't think that's good for my back. When I sleep in the hammock, I do sleep on my back, and or on my side, but not like you sleep on your side in a bed. It's just different. You're not really sleeping on your side. You're kind of like leaned into it. You kind of just nestled into it. And I just love this hammock life. I'm gonna sleep in a hammock every day for a year, but I don't know when. Not yet. Still a long ways off. I'm gonna hit up a hammock manufacturer that I've been looking into and see if they'll help me out with one of their hammocks. They got a sweet hammock, but this one here, this is just I think I got it on Amazon. Just ordered it on Amazon. I'll tell you what I can do is if I can find this hammock, I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can get this one. So otherwise, that's it. That's the hammock life, man. If you can acclimate yourself to sleeping in a hammock, you're just gonna love it. Like I don't know why we ever came up with beds in the first place, because hammocks are just so much better. When you first get into it and you lay down and you start swinging just a little bit, you know, it just rocks you to sleep. And then you know, if you're really sensitive, you can feel the hammock just kind of delicately swing all night, and it's just so nice. Sometimes you have some difficulty kind of like adjusting yourself and stuff like that. It can get hard or tricky to get kind of situated in here, and so it just takes some practice. But the biggest thing is to just be cool, stay calm, don't panic, and hammock up, get that hammock out, get it up, sleep in that thing. You're really gonna like it once you get used to it. I know you will. But maybe you guys got some more hammock tips. If you do, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. I'd love to see what kind of hammock tips you guys got. But for now, I am gonna wrap this video up. I appreciate you guys for being here. Be cool, stay positive. Peace.